I got your wig, ho. Ha ha. You're mad. Miss Wikiana. Miss Wikiana.
Those who think we're powerless to do anything about the greenhouse effect are forgetting about the White House effect. And then he signed into law the Clean Air Act Amendment of 1990, one of the most sweeping environmental statutes ever. This president that we have now is trying to unravel everything that he did and Obama did. And if I ever become a one-issue voter, it will be about pollution and the greenhouse effect and
Can
the
we
fact
focus
that
on the president, please? I don't want to talk about Trump when we're in the moment we're honoring a great president who's passed.
Please. I want to talk about
but we're honoring, but I'm not interested in your one-issue voter when our president
interested in. I'm talking.
Well, I don't care what you're interested in
We'll
either.
be right back.
Senator, I do believe that average Americans care about packing the courts, and I just want to know if you would agree and join Joe Manchin and agree that you're not for that.
My job is to take the concerns that are being raised by my constituent. And what I'm telling you is that they're asking about their health care. They're asking about whether or not they can earn a livable wage for working hard every day. And they're wondering when in the world are they going to get relief after waiting for it for months.
Senator, I understand that. I'm just asking you a direct question and asking if you would join him.
Actually, I just
wanted to know if you would join
going
him.
to end this. Hey, listen.
Can I say something now? Is that okay?
Yes, go ahead. Yes, you may now.
I have permission to speak now on Amy Klobuchar. We're all good. Okay, two quick things. Number one, I have friends who were at her and no, by all means, keep going, Joy.
No, if you're going to have a hissy fit, we can't continue. A lot of this pearl clutching, as they call it, is coming from Fox and right-wing media. And it's a distraction, as Sonny said, from the fact that not a single Republican in the Senate voted for the COVID relief package, which is popular with 60% of Americans. Now, that is the distraction. Let's be clear.
It's never been a hot topic on the show. It's because 9% of the bill is actually going to COVID relief. Out of all that, it's completely filled with pork, and it's basically a left-wing fever dream of things that are pushed into this bill along with it. That was conservatives' problem with it, and now that we have
so that's a 60% of the Americans.
No, I think that we should have that relief bill only going to COVID relief, not for anything else. Only paychecks to average Americans. 9% of that entire bill is going to Americans. That's the problem conservatives with it. It's not because we hate poor people and we don't want people to have help during the worst economic crisis of my generation. And I think that narrative and framing of it is not only wildly insulting, but it's actually inaccurate. Over it today.
By the way,
I love George Washington.
What's your Republicans
over it today.
Over it today.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a break right now.
I saw this clip, and I will say, talking about prison reform and talking about low-level crimes like Alice Marie Johnson getting let out of prison, I believe a woman like that should have the right to vote for all intents and purposes. But for Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris to go on TV and say that the Boston terrorist deserves any rights in this country after killing 3 people and injuring 264 in 2013, I think is disgraceful. RNC turned that into an ad. It is not hard to say people who commit acts of terror in this country should not only be punished, but God forbid they should have any rights that any of us had, or someone who commits a low-level crime like smoking pot or getting caught with a dime bag of pot and going to jail. It is not hard to put lines between terrorists and people who commit low-level crimes. And I was very upset about this morning because just one second, if Democrats want to drag everybody this far left, this is why people like me are so upset and so disenfranchised with how extreme this is. It's not hard to say the Boston terrorist was a psycho lunatic who is a threat not only to national security, but shouldn't be allowed the right to vote in any elections. It's not that hard.
Very clear, though, Kamala Harris did not say that. Kamala Harris said
we should have a conversation.
We can have a conversation about it, but I think we need to make it very clear.
And that's fine. That's not good enough for me.
Say that.
That's not good enough for me. But Kamala, that's not good enough for me.
She was a prosecutor in California. This is clearly something that she has worked on
they
before.
Have discussed.
And I feel like she's thought about it before.
Well, but
does anyone here think a terrorist should have the right to vote?
Well, here's what I'm going to say. If they let this terrorist out because he served his time, he gets his, if he's an American citizen, why is your mouth open like that?
He killed people.
Yes, lots of people do this.
He's a terrorist. He's a radicalized terrorist.
Our Constitution says if you've done your time, you have we hope, been reformed, you've been changed, you've been grown. If they let him out, that means they feel his time is up and he gets to become the American citizen
He should
again.
never be let out. He's a radicalized terrorist.
Well, but you asked me about the book. He's probably never going to
Okay,
get out.
it's a
But I'm
super simple
saying,
question. Does anybody at this table think anyone who's committed an act of terror that killed 3 Americans and injured 264 should have the right to vote? Anybody at this
I
table
don't know.
think yes?
Well, no, that's not the way to ask that question.
Yeah. What? Oh, so it turns out that white people can't tell each other apart either. So it's really about people.
I disagree. When we talk about racism, we have to understand that it's systemic, though, Whoopi. It is
But
a system.
you guys need to know what real racism is. You need to know what racism is. Racism is when somebody comes up die. That's racism.
Yeah.
But
we know that.
But the difference is, I go into Brooks Brothers. My mother will go into, when it used to go into a place, and they would follow her around. Now, do I think it's racist? No, I just think you're ignorant. You think everybody that walks in, you think if they don't look like they have a lot of money? We just saw recently that 2 white people with look very rich walked in and stole a $135,000 coat. So the issue is, you better look at each other as an individual and decide.
But the reasons we're following black folks and people of color in stores is because of implicit bias. And implicit bias is basically based on the whole system that we've all been taught. Every single American has all been taught that certain people, and black folks, because a lot of the cops who are shooting down innocent black folks are also people of color. So we are all in this system where we've internalized these ideas about folks of color. And so the work is to examine those implicit biases and see and they affect ways in which we interact with each other, and also public policy. So yes, it is racist when black folks are followed around stores and profiled in certain ways. It is
having watched people, no, listen, I've been black for 60 years, okay? Right. I've been black for 60 years. Yeah. For me, stupidity, there are dumb folks who just say dumb stuff because they're not looking or paying attention to the person they're talking to, which is why people can walk up to Obama and not look up at him and see that it's the
But that's subconscious racism. I'm sorry. If me and Rosie were going into a store together,
they would follow your behind too.
They would follow me and not her. When my sister and Carmen and I were in San Antonio, we are in an exclusive hotel. We're in an exclusive VIP lounge. There are millions of people up in that, right? We walk in and they ask my sister Carmen to clean the table.
Because this is 2 different conversations.
It's not to me.
I get that, but it is to me, and let me remind you why. If you've done your time, that's what prison reform is about. Yeah. If they let this man out, they are saying he has been reformed, we have fixed him, he's been
rehabilitated.
We have rehabilitated him.
He's met his debt to society.
That's what.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful to any of you, and I understand this is the view.
But we are talking about if he were to be let out.
If he should never be let out.
That's not the conversation.
If he were,
that's not what you asked.
I said low-level crimes. I said low-level crimes like Alice Marie Johnson.
But then you said, who here thinks that this should happen if he gets out?
I'm sorry. 11% rise in terror. I mean, we talk about the rise in terrorism and violent crimes in this country all the time, and the idea, I'm telling you that I am open to women like Alice Marie Johnson, who I think we all can agree was put into prison for too long. When you are talking about terrorists, how about the idea
you're missing the point. Hold on. Yes, you're missing the point, because when you you keep saying if they let him out. Well, yes, if they let him out, he gets those rights back. That's what we're talking about.
I don't agree that if this terrorist were let out,
not get out.
But I think he should be given the death penalty. I mean, that's where I'm at with this. People who commit acts of terror on American soil.
Does this include, in your mind, domestic terrorists also?
Yes, terrorism is terror. Yes, of course.
And what about those guys who shoot schools up? That also?
They should, of course,
how about
be
child
in jail,
molesters? Child molesters?
I'm trying to tell you, what Bernie Sanders said is going to be turned into a clip that will be. It upset me this morning.
How do you feel about the fact that people in Vermont are allowed to vote?
Abby and I didn't have brothers that served multiple times, and I didn't watch my brother deploy when he was 19 to fight this crap. To have them come here and give the right to vote.
You are missing. Wait, hold on.
So you think the lady walked up and said because she's a Hispanic woman or
because she just assumed that all Hispanic people who are in there can't afford to be there? Is it ridiculousness or is it racist?
It's racist.
See, I don't think
It's both.
I don't see it. I just see it as stupid. I just see it as stupid.
Do you all think that we live in a racist country?
Without a doubt.
Okay, see, I think a country that elects an African-American president twice, I don't think every American is racist.
That doesn't allow him to do one thing.
And I think that the Congress is controlled by Democrats. They're controlled by Democrats.
Wait. Make that point again, because it's very important that people remember who was in the Congress.
Well, but the American people elect
also that we elected.
Right. Democrats are racist too. It's our cultural history.
Listen. You are a white lady telling me what is racist to you, which is
gay American who's been told what homophobia and hatred looks like.
It's not the same.
I have a black kid I raised, Whoopi. I have a kid in my house.
That is not the same thing.
You don't have to be black to know what racism is.
Yes, you do.
No, you don't.
Yes, you do, baby.
No, you do not.
Yes, you do. Let me
I think that there's so many white folks out there who've been protesting, who understand, who see and understand.
Which is why I say it's not racist, because America is not just a racist country. Because there are white people who get it. There are white people who look up and say, honey, this I know. But that is why I will not accept the blanket statement that America's racist. I don't agree. I'm sorry. Kick my butt and keep your tweets to yourself.
So we agree to disagree.
The discussion here was if he got out.
Yes.
That was the discussion.
Then I'm against it.
Even then, she's against it.
Okay.
Right.
That's the conversation.
So people that leave prison would not be allowed.
I don't think he would ever get out.
Well, that's why we're talking about terrorists.
Should they get the vote while they're in prison?
We're talking about terrorists. Tell me a terrorist who has committed an act that heinous that has been let out of prison.
No,
we haven't had that conversation, right? So that is
but we were talking in hypotheticals.
Right. For me, I would appreciate it if Bernie Sanders and Kamala Harris said there are true monsters in this world, and true monsters for me are domestic terrorists, which these guys were. They were radicalized here. People like that not only shouldn't get the right to vote, but I don't think should have the right to have anything in this country. They killed Americans and they were radicalized, and it's a cancer in this country.
But again, people that are in Maine and in Vermont that are allowed to vote while in prison.
Maybe you think terrorism is lucky.
I
do not.
No, you're don't do that, Megan. Don't do that, because what we are chuckling at is I'm trying to get this to he's back behind you like this, and they see me trying to say it, and then Sonny started up again. The
Republican Party is in much more trouble right now because you have really traitors.
You have AOC saying she's going to
excuse me, am I done? I'm not done. I'm talking about
somebody answer.
You missed me so much when I was on maternity leave. You missed me so much. You missed fighting with me. Don't act like you missed fighting with me.
I did not miss you.
Okay, somebody answer the question.
Can I weigh in?
Or I'm moving on.
I'd like to weigh in.
So nasty.
Can I weigh in?
Okay, guys, hold on. Stop. Everybody stop.
So he said no to 60 Minutes because he doesn't know what you're going to ask him, and he doesn't have the answers. So he goes to his pal Sean Hannity, who's been trashing me, by the way. So let's discuss Sean Hannity for a second. Sean Hannity.
One thing is that Sean was my friend. I worked with him for years.
I don't
full disclosure.
care.
No, I'm just full disclosure. I know you don't. I really
don't. Wait, can I finish my thought? You know more about what's going on in your party than I do.
My sister-in-law is an advisor to Kevin McCarthy. I have a lot of friends and family who work on Capitol Hill. Like a lot.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So what's the question? Hold on. My question is, if it's not the Republican Party, shall I call it the QAnon Party? What shall I call your party now, who defends people like Matt Gaetz and goes against Liz Cheney? What are we supposed to call it?
I think you can call it whatever you want because your influence in the Republican Party is almost zero. And again, as I've said on this show, it is for us to figure out amongst ourselves. What Republican is like, Joy Behar doesn't like my party? Oh, God, I better stop voting for them now.
You know what,
really,
Megan,
the same way I have no influence on the left. I don't think, at least.
Yes, but you often on this show give your opinion of what the Democrats should be doing with themselves to better themselves.
But you said that people on Capitol Hill, are supporting him. I'm telling you, from people that I know personally, They are embarrassed. This is embarrassing for the Republican Party.
Okay, then why don't they get rid of him?
They should, because
why don't they get him off his committees?
Because they have to convict him or whatever. I'm not a lawyer. They have to. What is it? They have to. The police have to arrest him. I don't know enough about it, but like they have to arrest him and charge him. That's why he's still in Congress.
They didn't have any problem. They didn't have any problem taking Liz Cheney off her committees without any further investigation.
Liz Cheney, but that's a different thing. Liz Cheney wasn't on the committee. She was the third-ranking member, and she
suddenly they need.
Okay, here's what I'm going to do. Sunny has a legal note that she needs to read right now. So, Sunny, would you do me a favor, please, and read your legal note?
Every single day.
I do have a legal note.
Oh my God!
We're going to break. We're going to break.
I don't think that. Look, we've looked at what McCain was involved in with the Keating Five. He was cleared of those.
We're just getting to it. We're just getting to it.
But what I'm saying is that it concerns.
We also looked into Barack Obama, who was 8 years old when Bill Ayers was a part of the Weathermen, who has moved far beyond it.
And also, too, can I say with the Keating Five, he was cleared, but the man that he affiliated himself with was not. There are people that lost their money that will never get their money back from Charles Keating. So Ayers was not convicted. He turned himself in. He was not convicted. But McCain's friend, he was.
I'm actually not. No, I'll let you finish what you had to say. I'll let you. Thank you for that. That's a nice thing to do.
I'm not sure they're applauding you.
Not that. I'm saying thank you for letting. I don't think they were. I'm not used to anyone applauding me, but I was just thanking for the chance to finish what I was saying.
But why is Kelly so shocked?
Well, we shouldn't make levity of this. We're talking about the abuse of a woman. I mean, look at that photo. We should not be laughing or making.
We're talking about Kelly. We're not talking about abuse right now. Don't say something like that.
We are laughing and making.
We are laughing at him being shocked.
I'm hoping Dr. Jill becomes a Surgeon General. His wife. Because Joe Biden's wife, because she, you know, he would never do it, but she's a hell of a doctor. She's an amazing doctor.
I thought she was a doctor and
PhD.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I thought she was.
I think she's a teacher, but you know.
Here's the other thing also. I mean, one of the things that no one has talked about is, number one, Bill Ayers surrendered in 1980 to the federal government. He turned himself into the feds. He, like a lot of us in a certain generation, were pissed at the United States of America. Some were more radical than others. Some did stuff that, you know, they shouldn't have done. And he turned himself in. He, I assume, rehabilitated himself because from 1980 to now, I don't recall anyone saying in 2001, oh, we got to go get Bill Ayers. He's a terrorist. Let me just finish, because I know you have a lot to say. I don't think anyone has been looking at him as a terrorist until now. What someone's past is, and we talked a little bit about this, or maybe it wasn't you, maybe it was Bill. You know, there are senators and congressmen that have pasts. And at some point, you have to say, 40 years ago, this is what you did. What are you doing now? Because otherwise, you have to say that the parents of the kids who are in his classes and the school itself and all of the faculty are carousing with a terrorist.
You know what?
I don't believe, and I don't believe that that is any better than John McCain having to rake John McCain over 17 years ago. And the other thing, wait, let me just finish. And Barack Obama is not the terrorist. Let's make sure that we're clear that Barack Obama is not the terrorist. So linking him to people and we can link all of these guys to people. I'm done.
Okay, two things. One, John McCain was cleared of any charges. The Ethics Commission declared him his actions cleared and his actions not improper. Number two, in terms of, and I wish Sarah Palin would come out and be specific.
Did he use poor judgment?
They also said his actions were not improper.
It was poor judgment. It was lobbying.
Sure.
But don't you mind that both of them, can't we get away from smears?
No, because some of these things are not. This is not about smearing. John McCain
can't get away from smears.
I don't believe that this is a smear. John McCain has been open about what happened with the Keating Five, and he was cleared. Number two, Barack Obama went to a party at William Ayers, and I wish Sarah Palin, when she addresses crowds, would get specific and say, not my opponent, not our opponent, and not a terrorist. Barack Obama went to the house of William Ayers, who is a U.S. terrorist.
In 2002.
It doesn't matter. After 9/11, William Ayers said he was unrepentant about his bombings and said that he wishes they had done more.
Wait, no, you don't. Elizabeth, when he made that comment, it was about his book. It was not about 9/11. That book just happened to come out. And it was 40 years ago when Obama was 8. There was a rabbi on the same block that threw a
Can I just ask you a question? You say you don't care. It doesn't matter when, how long, whether Barack Obama was friendly with him or not. You don't care. But wait. Doesn't it bother you, with everything that's going on in this country, that either side is going back to smearing? Is that the way?
The man is losing. The man is losing, and he's pulling out garbage that didn't work for Clinton. It's not going to work for him.
It doesn't matter, Whoopi, because here's the thing. This is not about winning or losing. This is what bothers me truly about Barack Obama, because when I heard him back, I really thought that there was hope for him. It bothers me that he's not open. Whether you agree with Sarah Palin or not, she's
Why
open.
do you say he's not open? He did address when they in the primaries when they asked him about that.
He wants to hide all of his radical connections to Tony
Ew. Like JK, but like maybe not. But thank you for watching. But you hating ass bitches always have something to say. Hating ass bitch, but you're still watching my vids. What? You're so upset. But that's like okay, because have a piece of bread, have a Xanax, relax, because I said what I said.